Hi everyone, welcome. I'm down here in my wormery preparing to check it on a couple bins of European night crawlers, and when I sized up the food that I came down here with for them, it seemed like it was so much. And then you know what I did in response to that? I put on 2 more banana peels. So yeah, I thought it was too much already, and then I added to it. Why not, right? The guys we're working on today are in the corner over here. Not for long. Pretty soon we'll have room for them up on the shelf, and they'll graduate to be up there with the seniors. But for now, they're still over here on the lower shelf. They're 140 days in service today, 20 weeks, fed a dozen times so far. 10 days ago was the last time we checked in on these guys, and it was a couple check-ins ago, 22 days ago, that we took a wool sweater, chopped it in half, and gave each bin half of the wool sweater to see how the worms like it. So we're gonna get them up on the bench and give them a feeding. So let me get a glove on and get these little guys up onto the bench, and we'll regroup over there. That first check-in on the sweater, I certainly didn't expect to see much, if any, change to the sweater. And even today, I don't think we're gonna see much, but who knows? This is my first time trying wool. Every other time I've tried fabrics, it's always been cotton. And I've had varying degrees of results. One viewer was even good enough to look up this one time when I think, here again, I'm just going from memory, but if memory serves me correctly, it was only a couple days ago. I read their comment that they looked it up. One of the times that I had put a piece of cotton beach towel down into one of my systems, the thing vanished in about 3 weeks time, 22 days. And you know, when you come back on day 22 and you haven't been in the bin for a week or so, makes you wonder, you know, has it really been 22 days? Could it have been 21 days, 20 days, maybe in the teens? Hard to say. So I really liked what we encountered when we came in here last time, which was a top dressing of leaves. So we didn't have any leaves last time to give them, but this time I think we're gonna give them. You know, it was funny, like last time, because of the fact that we've got this wool fabric composting test going on in here, there was a good many people, I think some were saying, you know, let one of the pieces of sweater in one of the bins be the one that you don't mess with. You know, perhaps at best you excavate it like we're doing now and reveal it, so you can maybe check it out a little bit if possible, but don't mess with it. Don't pull on it, don't tug it, whatever. So I'm trying to keep to that just by removing things that appear to be resting on top of the sweater. I think we've got pieces of paper and bedding, things like that. And then food remnants I see. Banana peels. Ooh, yeah. We've definitely got a popular banana peel right here. Look at these guys. Well, guess what? We have more banana peel for you today. So enjoy this piece, and then the next piece is coming soon. And then, you know, that theme of being, I guess, the whole idea about not messing with the sweater transferred also into the outer edges of the bin, where we also decided not to till up or disturb the material. So if it gets down to the point where we're not disturbing the middle because the sweater's there, and then we're also not disturbing the outer edges because the decision was made just to let those sections of each bin remain a little bit undisturbed for a little while and focus on just adding foods and feedings down the middle, then I think I can live with that. So let's see if we can do the same thing here. Just here we're no, I thought we were encountering the sweater already. We're just hitting bits of bedding and banana peel like we hit on the other one as well, and I see coffee remnants. I'm wondering if coming back after only 10 days is a little too soon. Well, you know, I'm sort of in surplus right now. I got a lot of stuff in the freezer, and I'm highly motivated to be a very generous worm daddy with big fat feedings for the wormies. At least until I can, you know, put a good bit of what I'm hoarding over there to use. And, you know, it's a little bit tricky in the wintertime. In the wintertime, the somewhat cooler temperatures down here in my basement, I believe, affect all my worm breeds. Luckily, these European night crawlers are amongst the types of worms that can really handle it, you know. They can dig the cold weather and remain pretty active, keep breaking my foods and debris down, you know, kitchen scraps, household paper waste, whatever. Here we're going in with a couple napkins. Well, over there was one napkin because it's a big, huge, humongous napkin. So here I felt like I had to add two napkins just to make it fair. And oh man, once again, picking this thing up, so heavy. Let's get to giving them the coffee. But you know, before we get too far along, we've got leftovers. We should return back down into the feeding zone. So let's get these banana peels back down where all the fun's going to be, even these leftover bits of bedding type materials. Yeah, sometimes I just sort of space out and forget that I got a whole collection of things that I excavated over there on the edge, and then I'm left with it at the end. So this time I'd really rather get everything down where it belongs. And now, you know, since we got replacement feeding zone indicators, we can certainly also throw these right down with the foods and put new ones out in their place. But I guess the other thing that I was thinking of, because I've got a good bit of stuff here now. Look at all this tiny, minute material. I'm still thinking that another thing we could do is, you know, keeping with the whole idea of not being invasive to the sweater, is to just sort of pick it up a little bit, like so, just long enough to be able to throw a handful of food right there beneath it. Is that crazy? Is that too much? I don't know. Let's just give it a try. It does seem very generous, I'll admit, but this was kind of what I had in mind, and then when I started to see how much stuff I've got here, it made me question whether it's going to fit. Well, it'll fit, but how it fits is the big thing. It's pretty jammed in there, but you know what? It works. It somehow manages to work, right? So let's create a huge, big worm party. A big, huge worm party. And I doubt we'll be back in here in 10 days. Well, I mean, it will be interesting to come back here in 10 days. 10 days has sort of become my cycle lately. A lot of times when I have, you know, little weekend getaways and stuff like that, that puts a little pause. And then my ability to get back to the worms is something more in the 12-14 day range. But lately I've been kind of hunkered down at home. Haven't been on any little weekend road trips or getaways. So that's permitted me the ability to get back to my wormies pretty quickly, because all that's going to happen is once we feed these little guys, they'll just go back to the end of the line, and everyone else who's been waiting the longest comes up next, and it just keeps going that way. Once in a while I'll just, you know, preempt the normal flow of things, that being the normal flow of things, and either delay or prioritize things accordingly, whatever's needed. And that all kind of goes as sort of a little bit of a gut thing too. So just by how you feel about it. So I wondered, you know, I didn't know. I usually would have thought that this piece of paper here would be the very tippy top. But I wondered, what if we were to cover it this way, like so, and then maybe even sprinkle it with a little bit of moisture? Would it become like a little worm playground, and would that pretty much doom those top covering pieces of newspaper? I am curious. That is kind of my prediction, so I guess we'll see. Let's just add a little bit of moisture to these leaves. These leaves are pretty dry. Just bought them in from outside. I was running pretty low, and I figured, you know what, if I want to get back to having top dressing leaves in my systems, especially this one that looked so nice when we blended all those leaves in last time, then I've got to keep my supply replenished. And I got to tell you, that looks really cozy. If I was a worm, I would say, you know what, kind sir, may I live in those bins over there? All right, everyone, once again, getting a little bit silly, but maybe that's because we're done. We're done feeding the European night crawlers on day 140, 20 weeks in service, getting feeding number 13 here, and things certainly do look nice in these bins. These bins, when you watch the video back, it's like eye candy, looking at all those worms and the lovely bedding, and everything just seems so nice. All right, everyone, that's enough geeking about my worm bins. That's the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, please don't forget to leave me a quick thumbs up before you go. That's always really appreciated. And if you haven't done so already, please also consider subscribing to the channel. That's very much appreciated as well. All right, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.